Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Who Invited Her. We are San Diego's LGBTQ pop culture podcast. I am your host, Tony. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Daddy Bear Eric.
And yes, our kind of permanent fill-in at this point.
I love it.
Yes, Brynne Mac is back.
Hey, everybody, what's up?
Yay.
I'm here, I'm talking so loud.
Are you? Let's make sure your mic's working. Go ahead, talk.
I'm talking very loud.
Look
about
at how
something.
little your voice
I
is so
know.
tiny.
It's not.
Your voice is so tiny,
I'm
Brynne.
only small.
I'm a very small person. But you guys are here for another week, and it's just the fams. No guests.
I know.
No surprises.
It's nice. I like
Yeah.
that.
We have a lot to catch up on. We've been pretty busy. There's
Yeah.
a lot going on in the news that we haven't even talked about.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really, really fun. Where have you been up to, Eric? Anything exciting?
Yeah, I went out in TJ last weekend. I was out till 5 a.m. in the morning.
Where'd you go? Latino.
I went to Latinos. Yes, I did go there.
You're like splitting your time up in TJ.
I
now.
am,
Like,
yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
living there officially yet?
No. But I mean, I actually haven't told you guys, but I'm
No.
kind of considering. I'm actually starting to look at properties, very like early stages of like, what would it be like if I lived there
Like full
and
time
bought
for
a
real?
place there? Yes.
What would it look like?
Well, it would be in like an ultra luxury tower.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would want to. There's a neighborhood that I really like, which is called Cacho,
Okay.
and they call it like the Condesa. So Condesa is in Mexico City, which is like the very hipster area. So they call it
Yeah.
like the Condesa of TJ, and there's a lot of cute little restaurants and
The
brunch
Condesa.
places. Yeah.
Why does your mic still seem?
I don't know.
Wait, keep talking, Brynne.
Okay.
There you are.
Okay, I feel like I'm the problem.
I'm the problem. No, there you are. Now I can hear
Okay.
you. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm losing my hearing. I'm getting
Maybe.
old, you guys.
It is a Thursday. So.
It is a Thursday. So Brynne and I actually went to go see a band this
Forget
week.
about what you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You saw a band.
I'm sorry. Wait, continue your
Okay,
story.
so yeah, so
Thank you, Brynne.
I went to
I was
Latinos.
too distracted.
I went to my other favorite place, which is Baroque, which is kind of like a fun number one.
Yeah.
Like, well, number one's fun too, but like it's just
Way
like,
to call out number
No,
one.
no, no,
You're
no,
like,
I meant in
number
my
one's
head,
okay.
It was like TJ's version of number one is what I
Okay,
meant
got
in
it.
my head.
Yeah.
And then, I also went to the Caesar's restaurant where the original Caesar salad was invented.
No.
And,
I love
and
that.
ordered that table side, and they make it right in front of you in the little
What is the
cart.
restaurant called?
It's called Caesar's.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
I
It's
will
called Caesar's.
never forget. God, there's a book where they talk about it. It's not The Old Man in the Sea, and I think it's like
Catcher in the
Isabel
Rye?
Allende. Yeah, I was catching the rye. Just catching all that fucking rye. Where they talk about like the experience of creating it and being in that restaurant and
Yeah.
like seeing it and having it so authentic. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was an American who lived in San Diego who
Yeah.
opened an Italian restaurant in TJ, and then he ran out of ingredients, so he like threw all these things together and invented the Caesar salad, and it became
Okay.
really well known. And then like Hollywood celebrities would go down to TJ, and like they've had like lots of famous people go there and
So
order
cool.
it.
Wait, what's the? This is blowing my mind. What is in the original Caesar salad? Just romaine lettuce,
Yeah.
Caesar dressing. Do they put anchovies in this?
They do, but
Yeah.
they said that anchovies were actually added later. The original version didn't
Oh,
have it.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And Parmesan, and do you add chicken or shrimp?
No,
or-
no, it's just
It doesn't
just
taste like amazing.
It's a starter salad. No, it
Okay.
just tastes like a very traditional
Okay.
Caesar salad.
You know who has the best Caesar salad, in my opinion, in San
Who?
Diego? Inside Out.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yes, they
Okay.
do.
I've never had it.
I don't think I-
Love
yeah.
their Caesar salad. And I heard that the chef actually uses lemons, but he marinates the lemons for 2 days, and that's what gives it its taste.
That actually
Well,
sounds good.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I love tossing Caesar salad.
Yeah. This guy.
Look at she brought a joke
because my boyfriend's
His
name is
is
Caesar.
and you toss the salad regularly.
I do, yes.
Please tell me there's no croutons.
That's a good one.
No croutons, please. That would be the worst.
Yeah.
Wow.
Has that ever happened?
What?
when you're eating out ass? You're
That
like,
you found a
"Wait,
crouton?"
No, like you're getting ready and you're just like even this far away. And you're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Clean it up.
Clean it
Mhm,
up. Here's a baby
mhm.
wipe. Go
I
to the
bet you
bathroom.
that happens a lot more with straight guys. Than
Oh.
it
Oh,
does.
straight guys are pigs.
Yeah.
They're the
yeah,
worst.
no
They
worries. No
refuse
thanks.
to take care of themselves.
No.
So you went to
Refuse.
Caesar's, had an original Caesar salad, then
Yeah.
went home and tossed some Caesar salad. We're gonna milk that joke the whole
Yeah.
episode, everybody. No.
Yep.
I can't believe that's the first time you've made that joke.
I even know.
Yeah, I know.
She's behind the game. So Brynne and I actually went and saw a band, like I was saying earlier. So I discovered this band on TikTok actually, and then started following them. And they're Sub Radio. So we went and saw them at House of Blues here in San Diego in the Voodoo Room. They put on a killer show.
So good.
Yeah, and we got to hang out with the band afterwards.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and they were literally all children.
They were
But-
actual children with musical instruments.
Yeah, but they're a band from DC, and they've all known each other and been in a band since junior high.
Wow.
And they're well into their 20s. But I love that the lead singer at the concert on Tuesday night went into talking about being bisexual
Oh,
for
very
Pride
cool.
Month,
Yeah.
which I did. I was like, one of them has to be.
I
has
actually
to be
asked
family.
you beforehand. Yeah.
And we were saying, statistically speaking, there's so many of them in the
Yeah.
band. Like,
Yeah.
there has to be one.
It's got to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was.
And
And
was.
they're also, I mean, I watched their videos with you. They're very stylish and like
Yes.
very modern. I'm like, there's got to be a gay in there somewhere.
And their music is indie pop. What is
Yeah.
it? What is it called?
Synth.
Synthetic?
Yeah,
No.
like synth. It's not synth pop.
It's
it's-
kinda.
It is kind of. It's
Indie
like
synth.
It's very indie pop, and it reminds
Yep.
me of like the early '90s, and it's very like happy, upbeat, makes you want to dance.
yep.
Yeah.
But they put on a killer show.
It was so good.
It was so good. But speaking of bisexuality, Brynne,
Wow.
What a segue.
Your transitions are just like real
on point
punchy.
tonight.
I know. Oh, it's late. And it's not even late. It's just a Thursday night. But we were having this conversation, Brynne, while we were at the concert because he brought up being bisexual. And I was like, Brynne, you need to talk more about this on the show.
Yeah.
I do. And I'll do it now.
Now.
So right now.
Right now, if you didn't get my hints.
So I am bisexual, and I think, you know, you guys have obviously talking about Pride a lot, and Eric's going to talk later.
Yeah.
I have struggled to find my place in the community being bisexual. When I was talking to Tony about it, I referenced
Within the gay community.
within the
right?
gay community,
Or any
sorry.
community,
or any
even the-
community.
even the
All
straight
the
community.
Yeah,
communities
that's
are like,
true.
you're
Yeah,
not one of us.
that's-
Get out.
Yeah.
And I was because I was speaking to Tony about this like one very impactful moment before I had come out
Mhm.
when I was watching Sex in the City.
Hmm.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm sure if
yeah.
you're bisexual, you are 100 years old like me, then you will remember this. There was an episode of Sex in the City where Sarah Jessica Parker was dating a bisexual guy.
Oh, I remember.
Yes, I remember
she,
this.
She calls it gross. And then
Well, Sex in the City is kind of
It was problematic.
It was problematic.
problematic. And then she says this thing when they're talking and they're like, you know, bisexuality isn't a thing. It's just a stop on the train to Gay Town. And it was like, really, as a bisexual person in that moment who hadn't come out yet, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is how people feel. And I was like, okay, that's right. So if I'm not totally gay, then I shouldn't be this way. And it was very isolating, and it was such a mainstream show that everyone loved, that I loved, and it was like so reductive, and
Yeah.
that was really impactful to me. And I
Do you
know
want
that
me to cyberbully her?
Yes.
I will.
Can we please
Get- no, get-
cyberbully Carrie
get,
Bradshaw?
get Kim Cattrall on it.
I know.
Um,
God. She was fine with it in the series because she had a lesbian lover for a
Yeah,
while.
She did.
exactly. Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you remember that? The Spanish artist?
Yes.
I
Who would squirt
do.
in her face? And do you remember that episode?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Oh God, what was her name?
But it also
Maria.
brought up, it was Maria.
Yeah.
I saw this TikTok where it was a bisexual guy and how he said when it comes to pride or even in any community, being bisexual means you're invisible. Like
Yeah.
you get no, like people don't
Yeah.
take it seriously.
Well-
They're like, no, choose one or the other.
Choose one or the other. And then people also think that if you're bisexual, if you're in a relationship with someone of one sex, then that means that you're just that. So if you're in a relationship with a guy, it's like, well, you're just straight then.
Or that you're a whore.
Or that you're slutty. People
Yeah.
sit there like, oh, it's so selfish. And I think they say that in Sex and the City too. They're
Yeah.
like, it's so selfish, pick a side. And it's like, it's really reductive to your feelings. And it really makes you feel like you can't go to any corner or any side. And I know that more and more people are coming out as bisexual.
Mhm.
So it's becoming more and more in that. But like, especially when I was younger, I really felt like I couldn't explore that or be open with that. And I had an experience recently
Oh, yes, you did.
after my divorce. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she had a woman that she wanted to set me up with. And she said, oh, I think that you guys would really get along. And we have this brunch that we all go to. It's like a queer brunch. And she's like, but if you go, don't say you're bi. Just say you're queer.
Was the girl that was inviting you, was she
She's
queer?
a lesbian. Yeah,
A
yeah,
lesbian.
Yeah. She's a
Okay.
lesbian. And she's like, you can't come if you're not queer. And like, don't say you're bi because then they won't take it seriously. Like, they'll
Shame
just
on
think.
her.
And
She
I
should know
I just
better.
remember
Yeah.
like feeling like so ashamed of myself. And I was like, okay, well, and
Ugh.
especially like coming off of a marriage with a man, I'm
Yeah.
like coming back into the community and
So
stuff.
she
and-
pretty much was saying, if you're bisexual, you're not welcome to this queer.
yes, and
brunch.
and a girl is not going to want to date you. Like, you're not, if you
Does she
a true
realize
woman-
like LGBT?
B, we're the B.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is like hard finding your
Yeah.
place. Not that it's not hard for everyone, but it is hard when you feel like no matter what you do, you're hiding half or a part or 30 or 50 or 65%, whatever you feel.
percentage. it
Yeah.
is.
Whatever percentage is in that bucket. Like you
Yeah.
feel like you have to hide it. So, I mean, and I made this meme and I texted Tony and I was like, I don't think I'm gay enough to post this. Would you remember?
Yes, I do. And my
was
thing was like, wait, why do you think you're not gay enough?
Because it's just in the back. It's just ingrained in me. I was like,
Wow.
I don't think I'm gay
Interesting.
enough. Like I feel like I'm constantly having to like prove my LGBTQIA
How is it? How
card.
do you find it a little easier now being bi now that gay's been? I don't want to say it's trendy, but it's way more seems acceptable.
I do feel like there's a lot more visibility
Yeah.
now. I feel like the preconception that you're doing it for attention
That's what I was
will
trying to say.
always be there.
Yeah.
Always. And
Yeah.
you'll constantly have to prove yourself. So, if you're like a bisexual woman, other women are like, oh, it's just a phase and you're just whatever,
Yeah.
and then men are like, oh, you're doing this to get my attention and this is a challenge.
But there's
So-
a lot of bisexual men out there now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're all over Grinder.
Yep.
They are.
It's true.
But like
It
if
is.
you're bisexual, like I struggle with imposter syndrome with it a lot. So, you're gay. You're allowed to be here.
You're on the spectrum.
You're on the spectrum
You're
of it.
fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
But how do you feel going into Pride? Do you feel like Pride, like you're part of that whole like Pride Month?
I don't.
I've always been curious about this because
Yeah.
it's very Pride always seems you never hear about like you hear about trans, you hear
Mhm.
about pansexual now, you hear about especially lesbian, gay, but not the B within LGBT. There's no specific. Do you know what? Does that make sense?
Yes. No,
Okay.
100% makes sense. And I'm sure that there are organizations
Yeah,
out there, and
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
there And we're just doing not a good job providing you
Providing
information
you-
on it.
it's just me on my own.
Yeah.
So
We're horrible.
don't go by me. But I do think that it is like you think, especially for someone like me who's
Yeah.
like cis, and it's like you want to give the floor and the space to people who have really struggled more. Not that I haven't struggled,
Yeah.
but I do think that it's always a thing where you're like, you don't want to take up space because you don't feel like you should.
Do you think within the queer community that is a case? Like it feels kind of like
Yeah.
I'm just talking about your personal
Personally,
experience.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like I can tell you with the experiences that I've had, like, yeah. I mean, I had like another gay women tell me like pretend to be something that you're not because you won't be accepted.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I
that's
would have
tough.
came in like, boom, you. Guess what? I would have worn my like your.
I'm gonna make out with every guy and girl in here
I
tonight.
don't care.
I got no boundary. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. But it is Pride Month, so you know
Yeah.
if you have bisexual friends, include them.
Yes.
Bring them to Pride because it is for them too,
Thank
not
you.
just
Yes.
for the lesbians, the gays, the transsexuals, and allies, and
Yep.
all the other letters in the alphabet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
And since it's Pride Month, you have what
yeah,
are you gonna talk
so
about
I
Pride Month?
actually did a little bit of homework this
Oh,
week.
she did homework. Look,
I
she came
did.
prepared.
And I came across this article that, yes, that was
Shut up.
explaining the history of the pride flag. And I
Oh.
actually had no idea why it's a pride flag, why it's rainbow, and like where it came from and how long it's
The
been around.
original.
The original, yes.
Because it's changed over the years
Yeah.
to include representation for people of color, representation for the trans community.
Yep.
So, which is great. I love that
Yes.
it's all included. But the original pride flag.
So it started in the 70s, and before we had the rainbow flag, the only identifier that we had was the upside down pink triangle, which came from a very dark place.
Can I tell you a story about that?
Sure, go ahead.
So I grew up Jehovah Witness, and Jehovah Witnesses, when it was because the upside down pink triangle goes back to Nazi
Yes.
and the concentration camps, and
Yep.
that's how they were
Identified.
Identified.
Gay people. Mhm.
At the same time. Jehovah Witnesses, they were in the Nazi concentration camps, and theirs was a purple. I want to say a purple star.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And
I
I
didn't
remember thinking when I was younger, oh, were they friends with the ones with the purple triangle?
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that just reminded me
Wow.
of that.
Yeah. So there wasn't anything, before that time period. So in 1978, a man by the name of Gilbert Baker saw this building with a whole bunch of flags. I think it was like a civic center building, so they were like state flags and everything.
Yeah.
And then like had the idea like, oh, maybe there should be a flag for the gay community. And so just kind of had it in the back of his head. And he went out dancing the next week and was like spinning around and saw all these colors and lights whirling
So
around.
she was on E.
Yeah.
And, no, it would have been LSD.
Yeah,
He was
LSD.
having
Yeah.
a trip.
Maybe.
Quaaludes.
Yeah.
Quaaludes.
And then had the idea of like, that's it. It's a rainbow flag.
That's
Yeah.
also such a gay origin story. That I love it.
know.
agree.
So
Yeah.
our pride flag originated from an LSD trip. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So he went home and he went and created it. And this is
Suck
a part.
on that, Betsy Ross.
Yeah.
So this is a part I didn't actually know. So there's originally 8 colors in the design.
Oh, okay.
Pink stands for sexuality. Red stands for life. Orange stands for healing. Yellow stands for the sun. Green stands for nature. Turquoise for art. Indigo for harmony. And violet for the soul.
I love
Wow.
I know. Isn't
Okay.
that cool?
Yeah.
so
I wonder how he came up with red's going to be life.
Yeah, right? I don't
Right?
His
know.
blood.
Probably blood.
So
Yeah.
you said pink represents sexuality, right?
Mhm.
So this year, you know how Pride in LA just happened,
Yeah.
like literally last weekend, and the big headline was Miss Christina Aguilera.
I know.
So get this. So she had a very provocative performance with Kim Petras, where she, if you guys have not seen this, you can go on YouTube and watch the whole performances. But she wore a like male armor bodysuit and had a
Chainmail.
big
Strap-on.
strap-on, sparkly green and crystalled strap-on dick on stage.
Yeah.
and performed with Kim Petras. The whole performance is great. She brought out Maya to do
She's
Moulin Rouge,
amazing.
and then Paris DJ'd and sang her song. Paris
Oh,
Hilton.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was, and the thing, like I was telling you guys, because I watched the whole thing online, which you can do. Christina Aguilera looked like she was having the time of her life, and her outfits, she looked like a drag queen for
I
one,
love
which
it.
I love that she went
Yeah.
like balls to the walls. But I was reading an article. It was actually part of the review that was in Out Magazine. They had mentioned that in the last couple years, there has been petitions for Pride to be sanitized and take away the sexuality of Pride
Yep.
to appeal to a more of a
Family friendly.
Yes.
Wow.
Which now that when you brought up the pink and the represents sexuality, and then this year they went full for it. Christina Aguilera was like, "Fuck that, we're gonna,"
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't. What do you think about that? Do you think Pride should be sanitized?
I think do something separate, like I
for
don't know,
families
have
that
a
want to bring
family
their
gay
kids.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but the rest of it, like you need your sexuality, and so much about that is like how repressed it used to be, and
Yes.
how you could not do any of it. You couldn't hold hands, and that's so much a part of the gay community is being able to express yourself sexually
Yeah.
because you weren't allowed to do it, like even in your own fucking home.
Yeah.
It was in the U.S. at a point in time. It was illegal.
Yes.
You could have been in jail for it.
Yes.
So I agree with you, Brynne. I think that people's sexuality is really part of Pride because it's taking pride in your sexuality and putting it out there. And I don't think it should be sanitized. I agree. There should be a separate event for
Yep.
families.
I agree.
Do
Yeah.
it at Disneyland.
Go to Disneyland on gay days.
Gay days.
Yeah.
They have
There
a
you
whole
go.
thing for that.
But I thought Christina Aguilera's performance was amazing.
Ah.
If you guys have not seen it, go to YouTube and watch it. It was.
I know. And
So
I saw Kim Petras there, and I'm like, I'm so sad. I
I
didn't
know,
go.
and she looked amazing.
I know. I love
She
them
looked-
both.
They both looked really good.
I know.
But Christina Aguilera, she started out. I forget what number was first, but she had the green outfit that she did with. Then she came out for Moulin Rouge in this yellow with this huge feather showgirl back, and then she did "I'm a Fighter" in this red
Ooh.
bodysuit
song.
latex. But then she came out and sang "Beautiful" in
Yeah.
a rainbow, the pride flag,
Aw.
and then there was
Mm.
she had a huge pride flag behind her, just all the way. It was so cool,
The-
and she got so emotional during
She did.
"Beautiful." Yeah,
The only thing
Aw.
that would have been better is if she brought out the guy that played Damien in Mean Girls.
You're
So like she's saying, "You're beautiful."
beautiful. And he did his.
And he did
Oh,
it.
yes.
That would have been amazing.
Christina, call me. I can manage your stuff.
Oh my
Christina,
God.
call me. I'll turn it into a comedy
Call me.
special.
I
It'll be a
will.
comedy special.
Significant.
Okay, so the three of us did watch a movie that just came out. I know I saw it in the
Yes.
theater, but we're gonna talk about it. We saw Jurassic Park, the new
Yes.
one. Jurassic
Ooh.
Park
Dominion.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Yes.
Came out last Friday. I went and saw it in the theaters. I know Brynne did, and Eric had a different little experience watching
Yeah. I wanna
this
hear about
movie.
this.
I actually saw my first movie in Mexico ever, and I saw it in TJ.
Yeah.
And it was, first of all, it was so affordable, which is wonderful.
I know.
That's amazing.
Jesus Christ.
But it was such an interesting experience because, the movie's very cheesy, right? There's these
Yeah.
really cheesy lines, and I'm laughing at them, and nobody else is and so Caesar looks over at me like, why are you laughing?
Yeah.
Like, you're being rude. And then there's one moment where I realize I'm the only one laughing, but this movie is intentionally meant to be funny, but it's getting lost on everyone in the theater, and I'm the only one who gets these jokes.
Interesting.
So there's the one joke where the new cast meets the old cast,
Yes.
and he
Yes.
goes, "Oh, Lost World. I wasn't a fan of that one," and I
Laugh.
burst into laughter, and it's silence in the theater. and I'm
everybody
like,
just crickets and they
yeah,
turn and
I'm like,
look.
this is so bizarre. This is so weird.
Oh my God! So the movie came out, and this is is it the fourth in the
I think
franchise? I think it's
so.
the last one. So I've seen all of them, and the first two were great. Then it kind of took a dip in the series, I think.
Yeah.
But they brought the entire franchise cast. You have Chris Pratt. What's her name?
Bryce Dallas
Bryce
Howard.
Howard.
Yes.
Laura Dern. Sam
Love
Neill
her.
looks crazy.
Sam
Yeah.
Neill looks amazing. And
He
you know what
looks
I was
great.
thinking? Well, sorry, you can
Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Bloom, those are from and BD Wong came back. Too.
Yeah.
Which I was
BD
a
Wong
strong.
came
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And then you have DeWanda Wise and how do you say his name? I'm gonna mess
It's
it up.
Mamodu Athi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I actually
I
know
love
that
him.
actor from the show on Hulu called Heart Candy.
Yes.
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 And he does that little
Yeah.
mini episode with the character Josh.
Yes,
you,
yes,
you know
yes,
what I'm talking
yes,
about?
I do. Yes,
Yeah.
I love him. He's in
I
this
think he's so good.
very conceptual, scary movie that I like, where
Which one?
they go forward and backward in time. I can't, it's not a movie. It was a TV show on Netflix actually, and it's this weird, scary.
Oh.
I can't even
But
think.
they
I
brought
love
the
that
cast.
actor.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum looked right too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
So this is my take on the film. I was going, I don't know if I'm gonna like this because the last one I was just like, Jurassic World and all. I was just like, I don't, whatever,
Yeah.
right? The thing that I appreciated with this film is they took parts of 1, 2, 3, and were thrown in like little pieces of
yeah.
Yes.
surprises for you.
Yeah.
For all the Jurassic Park fans, it was great. That's
Yeah.
what I liked about it.
I will say that I wanted
More
just-
dinosaurs.
More. Oh my god. That was my one complaint. I was like, I get it. There's dinosaurs. I get it. I wanted the whole movie with the original cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't
Bring the
care.
kids back.
Yeah.
I just, you know what, really, the thing that I didn't like about this film, well, the things I didn't like about this film.
Yeah.
One, it took forever to pick it. It was like, come on, where's the energy?
Yeah.
Pick it up. Let's go. It took a while for it to go. And then the story was just kind of like, oh, okay. I think I saw this in one of the other ones. I don't remember which one, but they're just, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the highlight was seeing Laura Dern and Sam Neill.
Yes.
Yeah.
together
That
in
was
Jurassic
actually really great.
Yeah.
It was funny when they met up, right? And you see the new cast and the old cast, and I was like, God, back then it was so much more about acting than looks.
Yeah.
Like, not that they're not all attractive. Like,
Mhm.
Laura Dern's beautiful, but like Sam Neill, like in the original movies, they looked like real people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they weren't running around in heels. They didn't.
No.
Sam Neill didn't have a six pack.
No.
Like
Right.
it was about the story, and and I just like was like, God, can we go back to that?
I
Without
know.
all the CGI.
You know,
I
like Laura
know.
Dern with her just like janky claw clip
Yeah.
in her hair, just like running around. And it
Yeah.
was like, and Sam Neill was like a dad bod. And
Yeah.
he was an action star. And
Yeah.
like that's because he was such a good actor, and that's what we needed. So I liked the way that they melded the two stories, though I thought
Yeah.
they did a fairly good job. I didn't feel
What
like
were-
two separate movies.
Bryn, what were your highlights and what were the parts you were like, no?
God, okay. So highlights were just Sam Neill and Laura Dern being on the screen together.
Yes. I would
Mhm.
agree with that 100%.
And I liked when they found the little girl.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought that was cute, and they immediately took her under their wing, just like they did in the first movie with the kids. And then my low light is like, okay, we get it. The stakes are high. Like there's a dinosaur in the air with you, and then your plane crashes, and then your plane crashes on ice, but then the ice is thin, and then
Yeah.
you don't drown, but there is
There's
a dinosaur there.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you're running through the jungle again,
Yeah.
chased by dinosaurs.
I had
Get
an
it.
issue to just jump in that part where they like fall into the ice. Chris Pratt falls
Yeah.
into it and then like jumps out, and like he's not like hypothermia. He's
No.
able to
Running
like continue
beauty.
running.
yeah.
And then like the next scene they show him, he's like dry all of a sudden, and I was like, wait a minute, like
He would have been dead.
continuity is not working right here.
And it's just unnecessary.
It
Like
is.
the
Yeah.
stake, you've got fucking killer dinosaurs. The stakes are already
Yeah.
high.
Yes.
Like we don't need them accidentally falling off a cliff or
Yeah.
like going in the ice or being stuck in a tree. Like just-
Having to go under the lake and like
Yeah.
exactly.
Dinosaurs are already scary.
They're
Yeah.
already scary.
Yeah.
Like we
What-
don't need any of that other stuff.
Did you guys feel like it was a very close comparison for this new company, Biosyn, to Apple, and
Oh,
Yes.
was
and how
such
that looked like the Apple Park, and even
the campus.
the
and then-
CEO,
Yeah,
I forget.
was-
when he's like, do you have one of my bars? And I was like, oh, that's such a Steve Jobs. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
we get it.
Yeah.
I was like, I bet they're not very happy about this.
Probably
movie.
not. Probably not. What were your takeaways and your not so much takeaways, Eric?
You know, I really liked that there was moments where it made fun of itself, where
Yes.
you were able to laugh with it, which I thought was very smart of them and entertaining for me. to me, like the low part was that there was just a lot of like separate storylines that were going on. And I was in the beginning, I was kind of confused. Like, why do I need to know all this?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what I need to
You're
know.
like,
and
why
what
do I
don't.
care?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why do I care?
Yeah.
And so it took me a while to like, and then they merged them all together, and it just didn't feel as like natural as it should have been. But that's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Would you? How many? What were we saying? We should rate it, Brynne?
Oh God, what were
Do you
we
remember?
saying?
Were we really drunk? when
We were
came up
so
with
drunk.
this?
We were saying like, would you let a dinosaur eat you for that? Like, would you risk getting eaten by a dinosaur?
it was not even that, Brynne. I think it was like, would you stop boning in the theater?
Oh, that's exactly what it
to
was.
Watch the
Not
film.
in the theater, but would you, if you were watching this, would you bone or not bone? Like, would this take your attention?
That's a
like
great...
if your partner initiated boning, would you be like, no, I'm watching
the
this?
film.
Or would you say, yeah, let's bone?
Yeah, let's bone.
That was much better.
That was much better.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of 5 bones?
Yeah, and I would give it an absolutely I'm boning.
You're boning?
A 5. Yeah, 5 where we're boning.
I would doggy style. So that we
could
can
watch some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably missionary and hold my phone like this so I can watch some of it. Just the highlights. That's
maybe
in the middle.
one headphone.
One headphone.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, on speaker. But yeah, that was our little review of Jurassic Park. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I will say this. I was very high for the first part of it. And then once my high wore off, I was like, is it time to go yet? Are we still watching dinosaurs chasing these idiots around?
Yeah. Flynn fell asleep.
Did she
Whoa.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
fell
that's not
asleep.
good.
I always wonder for the kids, is it scary for them? Because I feel
No.
like there's moments where...
I'm training her because I want her 11 years old watching horror movies with me.
Oh,
so
right.
I'm, frog and watering her.
Yeah.
But she said she didn't think it was too scary, and then she fell asleep. So
Yeah, well,
apparently it wasn't.
Not at all then.
yeah.
But you guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the new Barbie movie.
Oh.
Because I'm curious to see what you guys think about that.
Yeah.
There was something else we were going to do. We talked about earlier. Now I can't remember.
The alcohol help them jog our
Yeah,
memory.
we'll be right back. You guys. Oh, on our little break, enjoy the video of Sub Radio.
Sub
We
Radio.
took video of the concert. It's a
Yeah.
little highlight reel. So go, you guys, watch us during the break if you're on YouTube, and you'll see the little video of Sub Radio. We'll be right back.
Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or anywhere you listen to podcast. Give the show a 5-star rating cause these narcissistic assholes need it. If you're watching the show on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and thanks for listening.
Sing along. If you're familiar. Stacy's dead, it's got me down bad. Stacy's dead, it's got me down bad. Stacy, can I come over in my car? We can change the oil and hang out in the garage. Did your dad get it back from the hardware store? Is he there or is he reading about the Civil War? And I know that you think it's just a fantasy. It sets your monkey out your dad confused a guy like me. Stacy's head, it's got me down bad. He's all I want, and I think he's a real champ. Stacy, can't you see it's Mr. Stacy's mom for me? I know he might be bad, but I'm the one who speaks to his dad. Thank you, sorry. Last night we danced until our feet got blisters. I rocked the about time that you got from your sister. You held my hand so sweet and casually. I never gone from start to start to quit. When our bodies shake like ooh, 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 ooh. myself in a shot of my skin. Ooh, we're gonna be alright. We're gonna deal with all the yeah. I'm gonna sell myself in a shot of my skin. And we're gonna be alright. Living life after love. We're not in love, but we'll make it. My heart's gone for you. Here at the skies are shades of blue. And I crash there, and none of my instruments make sense. And the memories pour in, and I'm 17 and breath is on. You catch your fall again. We were told graffiti on the wall, but we were only kids and we had no plans after all. Oh, after all, it's alright. I'll leave the key outside for you tonight. Is it? Oh, but I don't know. Here we go. Come on, you need it. Believe it, believe it, believe it, believe it. Disco, baby, let's go. This is not disco, baby.
Hey, everybody, we are back from break. Do you like how I'm showing arm today?
Yeah.
Actually.
It
You
was
ha-
hot.
You have shoulders.
Look at, for all of our listeners who are watching us on YouTube, look at this mean old farmer's tan. Can you see it? I got to get rid of that before our
Yeah.
trip. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Disgusting. The exotic people of Croatia will really judge.
They're
you.
going to be like, look at that in your feet. They look like chimps' feet because it's all black. Tan, and then my feet are white because I wear shoes. So you know, like little chimpanzees, like Curious
I'm-
George? Yeah.
I'm only gonna post photos of it. I'm gonna go on a trip.
Bitch.
I'm just gonna post
You
photos
could
of your
start an
feet.
OnlyFans.
Oh,
Croatian
there's
feet.
going to be, I'm sure somebody's into that.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sure.
I have very weird toes, which is
Are
that
they
they're-
They
webbed?
spread
almost webbed.
really far.
They're almost webbed.
Wait.
They're very spread
like
apart.
look how far you
Wow.
can
Yeah.
spread them.
So I feel like I'm like an inch away from them
Do you
being
guys,
webbed.
is anybody, do you have a foot fetish when it comes to sex?
No, I like ASMR.
You do?
Oh my
Is
God,
that
I
why you
love it.
talk like that?
Yes,
Vocal fry.
that's why I do vocal fry.
So this the bartender at no, this is part of ASMR. You'll get this, Brynne. So there the bartender at House of Blues on Tuesday when we went to see Sub Radio. She had the coolest nails, and she kept tapping the screen to do the cards. And Brynne was like, "You need to start an ASMR. What is it?
ASMR. I
Channel."
You
And then
should
she
do it.
started doing it, and me and Brynne were like. She got a kick out of it. She was
How
really
do they
sweet.
not get ruined being a bartender?
I don't
like
know. They
It
looked
was
great.
so long. And she sounded just like Alexis from Schitt's Creek.
And her name was Barbie.
Yeah.
Her name
Barbie
was Barbie.
from House of Blues, San Diego.
Hi.
We remember you.
Yes, we
Wow.
do.
Well, speaking of Barbie, don't we have a new one
Yes,
coming
you
out?
guys.
Good
They look at
transition.
you.
Look at me
you.
transitioning the
Yeah.
show.
Learn your
Yeah.
learn your place. That is my job. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, if you guys have been living under the rock, it's been all over
The
social
internet
media
is blowing up like
about
Yes.
it.
yeah.
And I want to get your guys' take on this. So Ryan Goslinger was just like pictures of him as Ken from the new Barbie film that's going to be coming out, directed by Greta Gerwig. Is her name?
Gerwig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gerwig. If you don't know, she directed Lady Bird, the new Little Women, which was fantastic.
She's also an amazing actress and
Yeah.
a longtime crush of mine from her movies.
And she did the Frances Ha.
Frances Ha.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I
and
love that
Lola-
film.
Have you guys seen Lola Versus?
Yes.
That is one of my favorite
It's so
movies.
good.
It's
She's
so
an
good.
amazing filmmaker and director.
Hmm.
All of her stuff has some weird twists.
I love her.
And it's very about relationship and
Yes.
people. So she's going to be the director
What a
of the new Barbie
strange
movie.
pairing with
What a
Barbie.
strange pairing.
Yeah, and
Yes.
Margot Robbie is playing
Well, that's
Barbie.
perfect
It's just
casting.
perfect.
Okay.
But so the pictures came out. Ryan Gosling, who's playing Ken, and he has the bleached hair, the stonewashed denim cut-off jacket, and his body looks ridiculous, and
His
he's
body
tan.
does
He
look
It
really
is like when I first saw it, I was like, "Is that an ad for like LA Pride gay? What's good?" I don't know what was going on, right?
Yeah,
Right,
he
yeah.
he doesn't even look like him.
No.
He
The fake
looks like an
tan.
orange version of him.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a jacked Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
So the movie will be coming out July 1st, 2023. But did you guys know that the movie was first going to be put out by Sony like a couple years ago? And I guess they didn't like the way it was going to be done. So they never gave it the green light. And now, forget the studio that's doing it. Oh, it was originally going to have Anne Hathaway and Amy Schumer in it.
As what?
I don't know. That's what
Huh.
that just said. Yeah, so Anne Hathaway and Amy Schumer circling the lead role. Either of them for Barbie.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of that? If one of,
I would like to see an Amy Schumer Barbie.
Yeah, I
Yes.
would too.
I think
that
it
could
would be
cool.
funny.
Yeah.
Although for both of them, I've seen them both in really great things and both not
And
so
really
great things too. So
Yeah, Warner. So the movie's going to be done by Warner Brother, and it comes out. What's it called? 2023. We have to wait that whole time.
I
yeah,
know.
wait
I'm
a
really
year.
curious to see what the take
just-
is going to be
Can
on
I say
Barbie.
something?
What
Yeah.
How old is Ryan Gosling?
shall we find out?
Yeah.
I
Let's
don't want
find
this
out.
to sound ageist, but
Why you don't think he's
young
old enough to
enough.
play Ken?
young enough to play
Yeah.
Ken.
And also, I mean,
Guess how old he is.
He's like 40?
41.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and there's even an article wondering if they'd ever let a 41-year-old play Barbie.
Well, no, because they would never let a 41-year-old actress.
How old is Margot
Play Barbie.
Thomas?
She's like in her 20s.
No, she's in
No.
her 30s.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
She's in her 30s.
Okay.
How old is Ryan Gosling?
I just think
41,
like
yeah.
it is true. Like they would not let a 41-year-old woman play that part. And I am thinking
Really?
Is
But Barbie, how old is Barbie supposed to be?
18.
4?
No.
Is Barbie still problematic?
Yeah,
Like
for
it
sure,
is,
for
right?
real,
It's
yeah.
still like it's still about
And
like,
maybe that's what the movie's going to address.
Yes, I just don't know why we're still trying to make Barbie happen.
yeah.
I get it's nostalgia, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping because Greta Gerwig is directing it that it turns into something good. I just think like maybe our talents could be put.
Why don't you like
Elsewhere.
Barbie? Why do you hate her so much? What did she do to you?
What didn't
I
Barbie,
know, I
Like,
what
first of
didn't
all,
Barbie do to the female population?
Yeah, my
and
body
destroy their
image and like make
self-esteem
me
and-
think that I should be a
Yeah.
scientist while also being able to bake 24 cookies perfectly.
Yeah,
You know,
and then you
and
need
get
the
100%
dream
of my
house, and you
homework.
need the dream car, and you
You
And
need
need
have
the
a
dream
boyfriend like Ken.
boyfriend who's
Yeah.
obviously gay.
My
Yeah.
mom never bought me Barbies.
Why?
They're expensive.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm one of
My
5.
sister didn't
Also-
have Barbie. She wasn't into that.
Also, can we mention that like the proportions of her body size are not actual like
Not feasible.
feasible human
No.
normal proportions without
Weren't they
surgery?
supposed to update her body portions, but that never really took?
Oh my god, have you seen it? It's like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was
Like-
like barely anything.
And then they also have like her plus size friend who is just a normal sized person.
But a normal sized person.
Wow.
Like,
But since we're talking about Margot Robbie, who is playing Barbie, did you see that Lady Gaga is going to be playing Harley Quinn in the upcoming new, what is it? Joker 2.
sequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard it's a musical.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I love it.
I can't wait. You know me in a musical. I love it.
I just love when things seem like they're going to be camp so that you really lean into the full camp.
Yeah. But the first Joker was very dark.
Very dark, but still camp. Like with
Yeah.
the dancing and
Oh,
the,
that's true on
you
the
know, the
stairs, yeah.
makeup
Never saw
and
them.
like it's very dark.
God. But I think it'll be interesting. Lady Gaga, as we all have found out, she's a great actress. She's
She
good
is.
on screen.
Father,
What was
son,
that?
House of Gucci.
Eric, what was that? You don't think she's a good actress?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she's a great actress.
Jury's
But
still
I
out
did
for
I
you?
say
Yeah.
great or good?
I mean,
Passable.
Passable.
I saw American Horror Story parts of
I
it.
liked
And it was okay.
But that was like her first acting major gig.
Yeah.
What did you think of her in Stars Born?
I never saw it. I never
My
saw-
God, people.
I don't know her.
What
I
do you
am-
have
I-
lives that you don't watch movies unlike me?
Because, listen, I have committed to 3 A Star Is Borns before
Yes,
this.
there's
I
3.
have committed to 3. Of
I
them.
committed to 4.
I
so.
will not do another one.
Barbara or Judy?
Judy.
Really?
Yes, I kind of
Okay.
love Judy.
Yeah,
Her
Judy was-
tortured life.
Barbara was good too, though.
Barbara was amazing. She's Barbara.
Yeah.
But Judy Garland, her life
You've
is
never
tortured.
seen that? No,
No,
never mind.
never seen
None
any
of them, of
no.
course. Why
But
would
yeah,
I
she
think of-
is
Yeah.
going to be playing Harley Quinn in the new Joker sequel, which I'm excited for, especially since they're turning it into a musical. Because the first one, Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar for.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to say the least. That's
Can
what I
I-
think. What?
Bring up something that we have not discussed at all, but I just thought of and I would like to
What?
talk about.
Yeah.
That Australian newspaper that outed Rebel Wilson.
I was gonna talk about that.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
in
sorry.
time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. Bring it up. Go ahead.
So I was thinking about blonde actresses, and I was like thinking about Rebel Wilson and that newspaper that tried to out her, and then wrote a whole article
was-
about how they're pissed off about how she didn't let her out them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were like, homophobia doesn't exist anymore. She's being stupid, whatever.
Wow.
It was real.
They were like,
brutal.
in this day and age, being gay doesn't do anything. And you're like,
But you're
Wow.
you're getting ready to out her, and you're pissed because you didn't do it.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a thing.
Yeah,
I
it
feel like
sells articles, so.
And don't fucking tell people what is meaningful to them in
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
life. Like,
Fuck
this is such a
you.
huge thing. Like, oh, homophobia doesn't exist.
Ugh.
I beg to fucking differ.
I know it exists.
dude. Like, what?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of street people who
She
wrote
would
that
make a
article.
good Barbie.
God.
She would.
That would
would
actually
make a
that
good
would be a Barbie
Barbie.
movie I'd want to see with
Oh,
Rebel Wilson.
yeah.
That would
Oh,
be
yeah, that'd be
funny.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Netflix?
Oh, her prom one.
Yeah.
It was
funny.
cute.
How was
it
that?
Cute. It was cute.
Yeah.
Very predictable. She can't act, but it was cute.
She's funny. I just think it's so gnarly that
Yeah.
they would like think, oh, we're gonna out her as like we're gonna out her, and then she's like takes it, and then they're like, oh, well then we're gonna let the whole world know what a bitch she is, and it's like,
And it
how
backfired on them
is
big
there
time.
Bad.
anyone in the room?
Because also too, they did a rebuttal apologizing once they started getting the backlash.
Wow.
I just think we have a good friend
Yeah.
who told us that she does not believe that homophobia exists anymore in
And we had
middle
to
school or
correct
high
her.
school. And we had to say, no,
It does.
very much
Yes.
alive.
Yeah.
Just because you think someone should be comfortable with something doesn't mean.
Do you think that viewpoint comes from 90% of straight people who have that viewpoint, but not actually?
It's
Yeah.
like so many straight
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Or just people that are in a position, because I know at this newspaper there were gay men.
Yeah.
And I think it's just people who like have had probably a good coming out experience
Oh,
and
maybe.
are comfortable in their
Yeah.
lives. And like people are always just centering themselves.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to them. And then they were so mean. They were like, she was always flaunting her boyfriend. So we thought it was like fine because she was putting her boyfriend all over
That's
social
none
media.
of their. Oh, yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
what?
Wow.
But just like in this day and age, like, could you imagine, like, you have not told your friends or family, like, you're probably still dealing with it yourself. You're like, I thought I was straight my whole life, and now
Yeah.
I'm gay. And then
Yeah.
a newspaper calls you up, and they're like, we're telling the world you're gay in 2 days.
I would have been
Wow.
like, you know what? That's great. Hold on 1 minute. We're literally posted
and that's
while I
what
was
she-
on the phone with them.
Yeah, and that's what she did.
Yeah,
Like,
good
she
for
did
her.
too. But it's
Fuck
also
that.
like, that sucks that narrative got taken away
but
from her.
it's
Like,
all social media. People have an opinion about everything, and they
Everything.
want to
Yeah.
tell you yes, no, maybe so.
but also it's just like, is no one there thinking at all?
I know what you mean. Was nobody in the room going, you guys,
This is a bad
I don't
idea.
think this is a good idea.
This is bad.
This is bad. We probably shouldn't out her. It is 2022.
Well, and also like even afterwards, like when she wrote it, they were all just so pissed about it.
Oh, it was a
that they
bunch
were
of
like,
catty
we're-
gays, probably.
Well, and someone's not like, hey,
Kidding.
well, was someone not like, hey, we kind of dodged a bullet that she didn't tell everyone that we were gonna out her?
Yeah.
Because what we did was bad. So
Bad.
maybe let's not be the ones to tell the world this terrible thing we did. It's like, let us write an article about this very shitty thing we did. Like,
Let's out ourselves.
Yeah,
for Pride Month.
We really did. For being shitty people.
So wild. Australia is like a different planet,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
And you know that one person said, but we're Australia. And they were like, okay, run it. No, I'm kidding.
There was
I'm
one
kidding.
gay person in the room, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, she's a bitch," and they're like,
Yeah.
"We got it."
They're like, I hate it. I hate it. Pitch perfect.
Yeah, run
it.
to print.
Well, you got hate recently on the socials.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
I
Oh,
saw.
God.
What happened, Brynne?
So I posted this video about how so a thing that I do with my daughter is I ask her before I give her hugs and kisses. I'm like, "Hey Flynn, can I have a hug? Hey Flynn, can I have a kiss?" And that's not to say that we don't ever physically touch without permission. Like,
Yeah.
she'll come up and hug me and stuff, but just if I want to hug or a kiss, I will ask her, and if she says no, I'll say respect, and that's it, and then we
Yeah.
move along our day. And I posted this video about it because Flynn was like, "Oh, we should teach other people how we do this," because she likes it a lot. So I posted this video and I said, "Hey, I don't ever force my child to give me affection, and I don't force her to do it with anyone else. Not parents, not grandparents. People are so pissed about this when I tell them. Like, I've had reactions in my life where people are like, 'She's a kid, make her hug her grandma,' and I'm like, 'No, it's her body.'"
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I did
Interesting.
I put a couple of clips, which were examples of me asking Flynn for a hug. And it's like two of me being like, "Hey, can I have a kiss?" And she says no. And I say respect. And then in the last one, I'm like, "Hey, can I have a kiss?" She goes, "Yeah." And we kiss. And I'm like, "Hey, I think this is important to give kids agency to understand that no one has control over their body but them, not even their parents. So if they know that even my mom doesn't make me hug and kiss her, any person out there that tries to do it, she will know it's not okay, and that's a boundary
Yeah.
she can set, and she can take that into adulthood."
Yeah.
And I posted it, and immediately I posted it and sort of forgot about it because I
Yeah.
had a bunch of meetings, and I go on and there's like all these comments, there's like a bunch of likes and all this, and there's just one that's like all caps, "You're stupid."
And
I'm-
did you go, no, you're stupid?
No, you are stupid. No, because because I had forgotten about it. There was already a big fight in the chat.
Oh,
Like a bunch of
wow.
other people that were
Oh.
fighting. And then this other one is like, "You do not need your child's permission to love them. This is such a stupid new age thing. It's so weird. And maybe when they get older." And I was like, if you equate physical touch with love, I don't know, check that out for yourself.
Yeah, that means there's a deeper issue with
Um,
yourself.
And they're everyone, and I'm getting all of these messages
Yeah.
that are like, "You're a snowflake," and like, "You're what's wrong with kid," like, it was
Was
your
it a bunch
parents
of the
raised you-
boomers?
It is all boomers. It's all boomers, and then they're
Wow.
like, "You're the reason, like, your parents raised you poorly, and you're gonna raise more bad kids, and then that's why the
Wait,
world
this
no
is
one
on
wants to work."
TikTok?
No, it's on Instagram. And I'm
Oh.
getting all of these messages that are just
Yeah.
like, "Fuck you," and like, "You're
Did you
fucked up.
reply to any
Your
of
daughter
them?
should be taken away from you."
No, are you kidding
I'm
me?
serious. People had such like a
Wow.
visceral reaction to me asking my daughter if it was okay if I touched her person.
Wow.
And I'm just like, and then everyone else is fighting in the comments, and they're like, "No, this is great. Like, you should
Yeah.
totally do this." And
Yeah.
everyone's like, "You're withholding love from your daughter." And I was like, never at any point did I say that my daughter has to ask me for permission for hugs and kisses. So believe me, she's very comfortable touching me.
Yeah.
Like, she'll run up, she'll jump on me. But like, if I want to kiss her, I want a hug from her, and she's sitting there, I will ask her if it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's her fucking body.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell her, like, and I will tell my mom and like her other set of grandparents, like, I will not say hug your grandma. Like, I will
Yeah.
not force her to do that.
My mom never did that. We just did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's
And if we didn't
nice.
want to, we didn't want to.
That's exactly the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, honestly, like, I know that a lot of people are blind to the fact that people take advantage of children.
Yes.
But that's how
That's
it's.
true.
I mean, like, I have to tell you, that's how it starts. Like,
Yeah.
blindly telling your kids that adults are right, blindly telling your kids that they
Yeah.
have to listen to all adults, telling your kids, oh, if your uncle wants you to sit on his lap, go sit on his lap. If your grandma wants a kiss, go give him a kiss. So then they think physical affection and all of that stuff is something that they are having to do. They
Yeah.
think that it is incumbent on them
Mm-hmm.
to give their body to make other people happy.
Yep.
That's
That
how
makes
it starts.
sense.
Yeah.
Now, how does this apply to a marriage? You have to, no, I'm kidding. Or you're dating some.
No, it does.
It does.
100%.
How would you feel if your partner was like, you have to ask permission if you want to kiss or hug me?
Yeah. Oh, if you do that with your partner, I
Yeah.
would love that.
Would you?
I
Would you?
Would you?
No,
You're the only
absolutely-
one in the
absolutely
relationship
not.
here.
No.
No.
'cause just
If
wanna
you
run
and
up get a
Caesar
hug.
had that, he said, no, Caesar salad, toss him tonight. What would you do?
Ask permission.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. There's no. I mean, because there's a little bit of like, I think the beauty of like the surprise and like,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
and the romance of that,
Yes.
and I think that can take it away when you have to ask for permission.
Well,
And
is
I-
it the same as asking a kid then?
Yeah, but I mean, sure, but I think for the betterment of the child, I mean, there's so much
Yeah.
more at risk than with
I
the
know.
child.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
like once you are an adult and you understand your boundaries, like I would think that if you went up and kissed Caesar and he was not okay with it, he would say, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't like that."
Absolutely.
But as a child,
And then you'd be like, we're done.
"Sorry, forever."
But as a child, they don't know. They're learning.
They don't know, and then
Yeah.
you're teaching them their boundaries and stuff, and they're not yet comfortable. So if you're telling them that they have to do something, like
Yeah.
you would never walk up to Caesar and if he's like, "Hey, I don't feel like it," you'd be like, "You have to do this."
yeah.
Like, or
Or
like,
you wouldn't take him to meet your family and go kiss my mother.
kiss my mother,
Go kiss my mother.
sit on my uncle's lap.
Lap.
That's what he
Everybody
likes.
does.
But also, it's like, I'm not telling you that you're a bad person if you kiss your kid. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
Is
this
it
is
though?
it
No,
may
I'm
be.
kidding. I'm totally kidding. Bro.
This is a practice that I
Yeah.
use
Oops.
with my daughter because it's
And it works.
Boys
You
and,
like it.
Boys
Yeah.
and girls, but especially women, we are taught that our
Yeah.
bodies are a commodity.
Yeah.
And as a young girl, if you were taught that like you have to give your body to someone, you have to allow them to kiss you, you have to
Yeah.
allow them to touch you, you have to kiss and touch them to make them happy. Even if it doesn't make you happy, no,
That
I'm not
is
teaching my
true.
daughter that.
Yeah.
And it's
My
just
mom
so-
never touched me as a kid. She had a glove on a stick,
Love
and that
it.
was it.
One of those cat ones where
Yeah.
it's like a broom.
Yep,
and you
yep.
just- yep.
We got that
exactly.
once a month.
Wow.
And, yeah,
Love it.
that was it.
Wow.
That's my dream.
That
actually.
explains a lot about me. No,
Yeah,
I'm
it
kidding,
does.
I'm
I really
kidding.
get it now.
Do you?
Yeah.
I were like, I would love it if my partner asked before they initiated any sort
Any
of
kind of
contact.
physical
I would
contact?
love it. Yeah.
I think it's different for gay men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just maybe psychologically speaking.
Yeah.
I'm different.
Or
Do
maybe
you-
just different for men.
Yeah.
I'm
it-
also a
exactly.
Capricorn.
I am
You were,
too.
so is he.
Yeah,
you both
no.
are.
You don't like the rigidity of like,
But isn't Capricorns very rigid to begin with?
yeah. So we'll have to talk about our moons and
I
stuff.
know. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
We
Yeah.
will.
Do you want to hear a feel good story for Pride?
I do. Yes.
I ran across this article on Out Magazine, and it really, I don't know why it sat with me after I had read it, and I was just like, I want to talk about this on the show. So it came out, and it's an article. If you go to Out Magazine online, you can find the article, and it says, the woman who cared for hundreds of abandoned gay men dying of AIDS. So this woman, Ruth Coker Burks, back in 1984, when the pandemic started, she was in the hospital, I think in Little Rock, University of Little Rock, where she was there with her mom or something, and she noticed that there was a hospital room that the nurses were not wanting to go in, and they were drawing straws to go in the room.
Oh my gosh.
And mind you, Ruth was at the time, she was an adult, she had a daughter and all that. And she was like, why, like, what's going on? And the door was flagged, like a red door, don't go in there. And these nurses were like doing 2 out of 3. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go in there. So she walked by the room and noticed there was just a young man in there by himself, and that was it. So she walked in and started talking to him, and he was dying of AIDS, and she felt so bad that nobody wanted to be near him on his last days, and he was very frail. I think she said at one point he was like 90 pounds or so he was very frail. So she proceeded to stay there for the next 13 hours straight and sat with him, and she even tried calling his mom saying, hey, your son is in the hospital and he's dying. And of course the mother didn't want anything to do with the son. The son was dead to her, and all of that because of the religious background. And mind you, this was in 84 when the pandemic really hit and nobody had any education, any information about the AIDS epidemic that was happening.
Yeah.
So she ended up going back home, and through word of mouth, people started contacting her, people that didn't have family that were needed care for HIV when they were dying of AIDS, or people who had friends and they had nowhere to go. And she was taking these men in and being their hospice pretty much, and being the one that stayed with them till they passed over the years. And she was the one who buried them. So she inherited a graveyard from her mom. And in that graveyard, she paid out of her pocket a lot of the time to have the bodies cremated, and then she would put them, like, bury them, and her and one of her friends would do like a makeshift ceremony, and she kept a ledger too. You guys got to read this article, it's so fascinating. She had a ledger that she kept in the attic, and it was called her Book of Death, and she kept a record of everybody that she had to bury that had no family, so that she was the only person who knew where these men were buried.
Wow.
And she did this for many, many years, and took care of many, many dying HIV patients and all that. But as time went on and drugs became available, her role was unnecessary. So the article goes on to say how, like, back in the early days, they didn't know a lot about the pandemic. And she said all of the men that she helped pass and took care of them, drove them to their appointments, got their medication. She even kind of had an underground pharmacy for AZT back in the day, because when her friends that did pass away, she would keep the drugs and give it to whoever needed it.
Yeah.
And also she said, in the article, she said the drag queens are the ones who raise the money. They would put drag shows on every Sunday to raise money for her, for what she was doing, taking care of the men in it. So in the article, she was like, none of this could have happened without the drag queens.
Oh my God.
If it hadn't been for the drag queens, I don't know what we would have done, because they raised most of the money that helped her do it. So, yeah, it's just a fascinating article on how she ended up devoting her whole life to HIV research, and she even served with Bill Clinton, like in a part of his cabinet, as the HIV advisor during that time. Yeah. So if you guys get a chance, go to out.com, and there you'll see the full article of Ruth Coker Burks. It really, like, just, I thought about it for like the next day. Like, you guys got to read it. It's a really cool article, but
it's just like a good person who like, does one good thing and then keeps it going. And
but it also made me remember that, like, because I was like in junior high almost around that time, and in high school in the AIDS, and it reminded me of, like, oh shit, I remember kind of the tail end of when it was really bad.
Really bad.
And I think it's like, you got to remember the people who passed and how to fight that fight, and where we are today with the HIV vaccine going into human trials and all of that's happening. And it's just so much. I just feel bad for, like, the people who passed, because their families.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was fear too at the time. Nobody knew what was going on, but good for her. You know what I mean?
And fuck you, Nancy Reagan.
Yeah. But yeah, Ruth Coker Burks was her name. So yeah, it was a really good article if you guys get a chance to look it up and read it. Should we do What are we doing? What did we say we were going to end
Which
it
one
with?
are we doing? I don't know.
I don't remember. The Click. What are you guys obsessed with? I have mine. So I don't know. Do you guys know what's your click of the
I
week?
don't.
For anybody who doesn't know, click of the week is something we pick, whether it's music, anything we're obsessed with, and we want you all to go and be obsessed with it too. Mine is a TV series that I got turned on to by my sister that's on Prime called Night Sky.
Okay.
And it has, the cast is one amazing. Sissy Spacek, J.K. Simmons, both of them play the leads. It's such a good series. It started off like I was like, I have no idea where this is going, but it's a little sci-fi, a little thriller, and really good acting.
Nice.
And it's short. It was only 8 episodes for the first
okay.
season.
I know
But I gotta say, Sissy Spacek, if you guys don't know who she is, she won her first Oscar for Coal Miner's Daughter, which I love. It's a biopic
So
about Loretta
good.
Lynn.
Oh
I
my
love that
God.
film. And she was in Carrie. That was her first film she ever did was Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
But she's such a good actress. Even being however old she is now, she's so good in this.
Yeah.
But go watch it. Night Sky is my pick. You can watch it on Prime, Amazon Prime. Do you have one, Eric?
I don't.
Oh my God, you guys!
I have one.
What?
Okay. It's the ASMR that I listen to go to sleep.
What is it?
Her name's Chels, CHELS ASMR. Chels ASMR.
Yeah.
She's on TikTok and she also has a YouTube channel. And she is the best ASMR-er.
Why?
And, she has she does like little bits and stuff. And she has like for head scratches and things. God, if you're into ASMR, you'll get this. She has like a little head. Like not a human head.
Yeah.
Like
Can you imagine if it
like
was a
beauty.
little
It was a
human
real
head?
human head. Then I
Like,
used-
remember when you go into Disneyland and you did the Jungle Cruise and they showed the they're gonna shrink your heads?
Head,
That
yes.
used to scare me as a
Actually,
kid.
I could do like a goth ASMR. I might do that, like ASMR from hell, and it would be a real human head. And you'd be like, just scratch
Just do
your head.
it. Just scratch it
Scratch,
with your
scratch.
long Barbie
Spider
nails.
crawling up your back. No, she's really sweet, and she
Yeah.
gives shout outs to you when you're watching it and stuff. And she's like very creative. Chels ASMR. I love it.
Nice.
She helps me fall asleep like
Does
most
she?
nights.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Eric,
I guess
what?
I do kind of have one.
What?
So I don't know if it's technically a click, but I did finish Hacks this week.
Oh, you've been
which
talking about Hacks
season
ever
two
since season 2
was
came out.
so
I
good.
haven't watched it yet.
And I would say season 1 was a lot more shocking. I felt like there were moments that were
Yeah.
more really, really shocking about it. But season 2, the relationships are just so complicated.
Really?
And it's really, the complicated relationships are great.
I mean, it's Gene Smart.
I
Love
know.
I mean, if you guys haven't watched season 1 was so good. We talked about it on the show. It was so good.
Also, if you've never seen Designing Women,
Go
go back
watch
and
it.
Watch Designing Women.
With
Yeah.
Dixie Carter.
Dixie
Delta
Carter,
Berg.
Yeah. Delta Berg is the
I
best.
know.
She's married to Major Dad.
Is she?
Yeah.
Do you remember that show, Major Dad?
No.
Anybody?
Not at all.
Okay. All right. You guys, that's our show this week.
Whoa.
We did it. Yes, we made it through an hour. Eric, how do people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Daddy Bear Eric.
Yes. And Brynne.
You can find me on Instagram at a real Bryn Mac.
A real Brynne Mac.
A real.
A real. You can follow me at Sony_Baloney_Macaroni on Instagram. The show is Who Invited Her SD on Facebook and wait, I always mess this up. At Facebook and Twitter, it's Who Invited Her _podcast on Instagram. You can
Yes.
email us at the gang at whoinvitedher.net. We love hearing from you. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you leave a comment and all of that good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and that is it for us. Next week, next
Special
week's going to be
guests.
fun. We have some
Yes.
returning guests next week. We're getting all 3 of them together. So
Yes.
some of my favorite podcast guests, Jasmine and Quinn, who are part of the House of Glam here in San Diego. If you guys don't remember who they are they're a couple, and Jazz is a cis straight woman, and she's married to a gay man, and she's dating another gay man.
Yeah.
But we're getting the husband on too.
Yeah.
Jax, who
Yeah.
she's legally married.
Oh,
So we're getting the whole families coming and
I
co-hosting because
love it.
he's out of here.
I won't. I will be in Mexico City for Pride. So
oh, I
I'm very
can't wait
excited.
for the rundown of all the festivities.
But I'm going to listen to that episode because I can't wait to hear.
I know it's gonna be
it.
so much fun. I have so many good little things planned for them.
Yes.
But you guys, that is it. We will see everybody next week. Bye.